Hello, football aficionados and people who just like hearing me ramble. Today we're talking about football. Again, week 6 this time. And to recap my week 5 predictions, I think you can guess at this point how I did. I went 11 and 5 with 11 correct and 5 incorrect. That's my trend that I've been almost doing entirely through the entire season. I have 1 week where I did 12 and 4, and I have 1 week where I went 5 and 11, which is week 1. And week 1's usually a toss-up, getting 11 and 5 again this week, week 5, brings my current record of the season to 50 and 30. So I have a 5 to 3 chance of getting it right to wrong. So with that being said, we're now going into week 6. And let's predict some games. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Philadelphia Eagles this game. We have Brady coming off some sort of injury. This doesn't seem too bad. I just don't trust Jalen Hurts. There's going to be openings in the Buccaneers defense, but I don't know if Hurts is going to find them for the receivers. Moving on to the next game. Picking the Buccaneers. Picking the Buccaneers. And moving on to the next game. The next game is the Miami Dolphins at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And while they both aren't good teams, I personally think that the Miami Dolphins are going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars because their defense is better. What's going to cause Trevor Lawrence to have more issues than I think the offense is going to, is I feel like Miami's offense is going to do that naturally itself anyway. Because Miami just has a tendency to get in its own way on offense. The next game is the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Now, this one's pretty plain and simple. Justin Fields might do better because Jaire Alexander in the secondary looks kind of questionable. Without Jaire Alexander, the Green Bay Packers secondary looks questionable. So Fields could do well. Fields could very easily do well, but I don't think he's going to do better than Aaron Rodgers will. If the Chicago Bears win this game, it's because their defense shut down Aaron Rodgers for 4 quarters. So I'm going to go with Green Bay Packers. The next game is the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. I almost picked the Texans this game. I really did. I really almost did. However, I was really close toss-up, and I ended up just giving it to the home team this time, so I'm just going to pick Indy. Moving on to the next game, Kansas City at Washington Football Team. This is a get-right game for both of them. Washington Football Team, if you aren't going to be competitive this year, then this is the game that you're going to find out. Because if you can't keep up, if Heineke can't carve up that defense well, it's an issue. And if their defense continues to be bad and let Mahomes just glide through it every time, then yeah, their season's basically done. If one of those two can do things properly, like their offense or their defense, then they should have a competitive game. I don't have faith in the Washington Football Team defense anymore. I really did. But I don't, especially against Patrick Mahomes. An angry and upset Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going Chiefs. Los Angeles Rams at the New York Giants. Pretty easy to pick the Rams here. The Rams are just a better team. Giants have a good secondary, but everything else doesn't look that great right now, especially with injuries to quarterback, running back, receiver, like everywhere on that offense. So, I'm going to go Rams. Next game is the Cincinnati Bengals at the Detroit Lions. Now, I'm this close to picking the Lions. Now, the reason I didn't pick the Lions is because I think the Bengals are going to be able to pass on them. I think they're going to be able to throw deep. And I think that's going to decide the game. I think it's going to be a good, competitive, hard football game. But I think it's going to be won through big plays from Joe Burrow and his receivers. Moving on to the next game, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. Now, initially, I was thinking Panthers. Initially, I had the Panthers win this game. Now, I don't. I will admit, I do not have the Panthers win this game anymore. I think Minnesota is just, and they're both very similar teams. Like, they're both good teams that, they're kind of underperforming. Minnesota seems to be catching a little bit more steam, and they should have Dalvin Cook back this week. On the other side of the ball, Carolina seems to be losing steam, but they might get Christian McCaffrey back this week. So I'm gonna give the slight edge to the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like they're like more trending upwards at the moment, but I could see the Panthers winning this game definitely. Next game is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Baltimore Ravens. Now this should be a very good game. Baltimore look questionable the other day, and they have a few other times this season. Lamar is the offense. Obviously, people knew that, but like, it's one of those offenses where it's just like, unless you have a top 5 quarterback, which Lamar is, then it's not scary. You know what I mean? And there's the defense looks good at times, and they look unstoppable at certain moments, but they also just look like half of them don't show up half the time. Like they don't know what they're doing. They're not consistent. And I think Baltimore, the Chargers, who have been consistent on offense, are going to take advantage of that. And while Lamar is going to make the game competitive, I don't necessarily know if he's going to have enough to make it happen for the third straight week in a row. I think third. And also, I'm a Chargers believer this year, so go Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers over the Ravens this year. This game. Moving on to the next game. Let me give a little recap of that fast game. The Chargers should be able to pass. They should be able to pass, and the run game should be okay. It should be better at the run game as a passing game, like they normally do anyway with Eckler, like passes out the short flat. Because Queen isn't great. He's fast, but he's not great. They should be able to be effective, but if anyone's shut down, I could see it being Allen. I don't think he will because he's good, but like Marlon Humphrey is the Ravens' best corner, and he hasn't been as good this year as he normally is, but he's a shutdown corner. Even if he normally stays in the slot, but sometimes he ends up on the boundary as well. The next game, moving on, is another good game. It's the Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. Both teams. They're both good teams. They're both not there yet in terms of, like, in my opinion, looking dominant. They both have looked really good. They both have looked really good. But neither of them have looked dominant as a team. I initially was thinking Arizona, but Cleveland lost a heartbreaker last week, and they're at home. So, picking the Cleveland Browns. Also, I feel like if anyone's going to throw Kyler Murray off his track, it's going to be Myles Garrett. Next game. Las Vegas Raiders, the Grudenless Raiders, at the Denver Broncos. And I'm going to give the Denver Broncos to the Raiders because I feel like they're just in disarray. They shouldn't win this game. If they win this game, it's because they're like, they're like, yeah, we got rid of the guy. Or it's like, oh, man, we're doing this for him. One last hurrah. That one, it's one of those two situations. That being said, sorry, it's one of those two, or it's just like, we're done. We lost Gruden, we're done. And I kind of feel like it's going to be 3. I don't think everyone's going to feel that way, but I feel like it's going to be enough of like an energy kind of shift where it's kind of don't. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean, because I haven't got a confirmation from you yet if you know what I mean, because you know what I mean. The next game is the Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but I feel like I want to. The Cowboys are going to win this game. They're just better at the moment. New England seems to be not as normal and unified, collective, and in sync as they normally are. It'll be a competitive game. It'll be a good game. I don't think it'll be a phenomenal game, but it should be a good game. New England will have a shot at it, but I think Dallas is going to win this game. Seattle at Pittsburgh. Seattle wins this game with Russell Wilson. They don't have Russell Wilson, so it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going to be able to get to Geno Smith to where he makes enough mistakes, and he won't be able to make enough good plays to counteract those mistakes. Moving on to the last game of the week is the Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Titans defense has shown up at times this year, and they've also not shown up times this year. I don't think that matters against Josh Allen, if I'm being frank. Buffalo's going to win this game unless Derrick Henry decides to not be tackled ever, which it's possible. He's done it before, more basically. But I think the power of Josh Allen's offense and their pretty darn good defense is going to be enough to beat the Titans' pretty darn okay defense and pretty darn unstable offense, aside from Derrick Henry. So just to do the recap of all the games, thank you for listening. To do the recap, going in order: Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Buccaneers are going to win that game. The Miami Dolphins at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Miami Dolphins are going to win that game. The Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. The Green Bay Packers are going to win the game. The Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are going to win that game. Kansas City at Washington Football Team. Kansas City is going to win. The Los Angeles Rams at the New York Giants. The Rams are going to win. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Detroit Lions. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to win. The Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. I need to slow down the Carolina Panthers. Minnesota's going to win. I'm being silly. The Los Angeles Chargers at the Baltimore Ravens. The Chargers are going to win that one. Arizona Cardinals at the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are going to win that one. The Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are going to win. The Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win. The Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are going to win that one. And the Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. The Buffalo Bills are going to win that game. Now, I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk and be wrong for 5 of those probably. Go sports, go football. Feel free to comment any sports takes in these comments. I do ask that you keep your football comments in these videos because it just makes more sense. Thank you for watching. Sweet dreams. I hope this helps. In whatever way, I hope you enjoy. I appreciate you for watching, especially for being here at this point. 14 minutes in, I'm past rambling about football. At this point, I'm just rambling about thanking you. And if you're still here watching that, then you're either asleep, which I hope you are, or you just like hearing me talk, or you don't know when to click off of a video. So, either way, good night, sleep well, sweet dreams.